baby, you know how lawyers can get. They can be very evasive and sometimes very secretive, but that really doesn't matter because I think there's a way around that.
You got a plan?
Yep. Gilbert's lawyer must be properly consulted, even though Mrs. Gilbert, well, her investment bankers may not approve, but I think we can get around all of them.
And how do you plan to do that?
Need a few more pieces to the puzzle because everything is starting to clear up. And if I could get a few minutes with Ben Martin...
Hold it right there. The plan just started to break down. Ben's not going to talk to you.
What do you mean?
Well, I went to see him like you said. I didn't get out of the dugout, much less to first base. And I tell you, I was more embarrassed for Laurie than for myself the way he was carrying on. But one thing is clear. He's not talking to any reporters, no exceptions. And I'm afraid, baby, that even includes you.
Oh, sure you won't join me in the sauna? Make a new man out of you.
No, I have too much work piled up here. But thanks anyway.
Ben, I know it's not really any of my business, but it's getting pretty obvious that something's bothering you. Now, I know it's easier for some people to talk than others, but that's what friends are for. What's been eating you?
Nothing, really.
Really?
Laurie's gonna leave.
What?
Oh, it's not what you think. It really isn't. It's only vacation. We both felt it would be good to be alone for a few days.
When he convinces his lovely little wife to take separate vacations, he just might make some other choices that will make you even more uncomfortable.
Ben, why is Laurie taking this little vacation?
Anybody home?
In here, I own.
Ooh. Hard day, huh?
Oh, the worst. I don't think I've had such a rough day in I don't know how long. I've never seen so many people in such a bad mood in one place. I don't even want to talk about it.
That bad, huh?
Oh, yeah, and you know what? It's not even over, either.
Really?
They asked me to come back and work the night shift. Can you believe that? I just can't believe people can be so inconsiderate sometimes.
Oh, I know what you mean.
The night shift, you know, my feet are absolutely killing me. And they want me to come back. You know, if I didn't need the money, I would have just told them where they can...
Oh, yes, money. That's something I wanted to talk to you about.
What's that?
Money.
What about it?
Well, you know, we need money to pay the rent and buy the food and,
Yeah, I know.
and the utilities. The telephone keeps going up and up.
I know. It just gets worse every year, doesn't it?
Yes, and it seems that very heavy load seems to fall on just a few of us folks.
I know that. I own. But what are you driving at?
Well, I was trying to, you know, say that...
What?
Well, I don't know quite how to say this, Nancy.
Well, just come right out and say it. I mean, that's the best thing.
Well, I was trying to be subtle. The truth is, you've got yourself a job now, a good job. And you seem to have a considerable cash flow.
Yeah, I know that. But what are you saying?
Well, I should think the point would be very clear by now.
Oh, you're wondering why I don't contribute, right?
Well, yes, you're back on your feet now again, and it seems to me you would want to contribute toward the expenses here.
Well, yeah, sure.
You know, and toward the end of the month, things can get pretty slim around here, and I would think you'd want to help out a bit.
Well, yes, I do, I own, but, well, the truth is I really can't.
Laurie and I both thought it would be a good idea.
Separate vacations at your age? Doesn't sound too healthy.
Well, Laurie wasn't looking forward to it at first, but we had a calm, rational discussion, and I convinced her she should go.
Sounds suspicious.
Oh, come on, Brian, would you give me a break, okay? Look, Laurie and I had a great deal to talk about. We sat down, we started talking, and before I knew it, we both decided that she needed to be alone for a few days.
Just like that. With little Scotty?
Yes, with little Scotty. They're visiting some old friends in North Carolina. All right, I admit, once the decision was made, I felt a little uneasy about her leaving, even if it is only for just a few days. Brian, as you know, this transition's been very rough on Laurie as well. But I am convinced that she needs the time alone, and she needs the rest. It'll do a lot of good.
Who are you trying to kid, old buddy?
What?
You're playing games with me. The facts don't add up. Now, it seems to me like you've left a few cards out of the deck.
What do you mean?
I mean, you don't take a one-year-old kid with you when you want to get some rest. Even I know that. Even Laurie Martin doesn't do that. Now, come on. What's the real scoop?
You think I should have gone with her, don't you?
I think there are some things that you just don't sweep under the rug without leaving a great big bump.
Meaning?
Meaning that from my somewhat prejudiced perspective, I don't see how you guys could forget what happened the night of the charity ball. For instance, Laurie going to the mayor's banquet to accept this award for you when you didn't want her to. Frankly, I'm glad that she did. It'll look great in here. What I'm saying is that no matter how close you and Laurie were or think you are now, I'm not buying that all is once again blissful at La Casa de Martin.
Maybe we'll surprise you. But thanks for your concern anyway.
Oh, in a way, I should thank you. I mean, there was a time that there was no secret that was too secret to stand between us. But now I gotta do a little more prying, ask a few more pointed questions.
Well, write it off to age.
Or scar tissue.
Yeah, something like that. So what are you going to do after your sauna?
I've got a call or two to make.
Of a professional nature, of course.
Why, of course. And if you believe that, I've got some swampland in Florida that I'll sell you real cheap.
Yeah, now who's making who pry?
Touche. But I would never dream of compromising a confidence, old buddy. Not even to another very, very old and dear friend. Let's just say that I've got to spend a little time with an old friend who has probably never been to, nor could care less about, North Carolina.
Beverly, I don't mind answering questions at all. It's only a matter of whether they affect your self-confidence. That's all I'm concerned with.
I was hoping you'd understand.
Well, what is it you wanted to know?
Vanessa, have you ever been married?
No.
Ever close?
No.
Well, have you ever been in love?
I beg your pardon.
I mean, how many times have you been in love?
I think you should ask the next logical question, Mrs. Randolph.
What's the next logical question?
Well, I think the next logical question might be, what is love? After all, we must define our terms here. I can't answer a question unless I know what it is I'm admitting to.
I mean, love as in...
As in some disgusting rush of emotion? Or perhaps you mean some conveniently forgotten commitment? Or maybe a perverted sense of blind loyalty?
Oh, no, I mean...
Just what do you mean, Beverly? Define your terms.
Oh, Vanessa, I'm sorry. Look, I know how you hate this dependency, this disgusting loyalty I have to my ex-husband, and I know it's ugly. And I'm doing and I will do everything in my power to break it.
It doesn't sound that way to me when you talk about vagaries like love.
Well, I just thought that if you'd ever been in a long-standing relationship, you might understand me better.
I don't see how my past is of any germane interest in this conversation.
You're right. You're right. Forgive me. Look, let's just get back to the reason that I returned. Now, when I left here this morning, I did some investigating. And I realized that if I gave away any large sum of money right now, my husband's attorneys would make it very, very difficult. So I've come up with another solution. I spoke to my attorneys, and we've decided to do the next best thing. And that is, I'm going to open a money market account in 2 false names. Now, that is entirely legal. And then, over the next period of about 3 weeks, I will put large sums of money into this account. And you will be able to draw from the account for the research project.
Beverly, that's ingenious.
Actually, it was my attorney's idea.
You didn't mention my name, though. You didn't say anything about Domi.
No. Actually, I led him to believe that, I'd taken a lover. A very young lover.
A gigolo.
Please. It was very embarrassing, but it's done. And I did it for you, Vanessa. I did it to make you happy.
What do you mean Ben won't talk to me?
I think it's pretty clear. Ben says he doesn't want to talk to any newspaper reporters. And you're the best, babe.
What's wrong with the man? I mean, it doesn't make any sense at all. I'm not just another reporter. I happen to be his friend, you know.
I don't have any answers, at least right now. All I know is that Ben is upset, and you need to calm down, because when you're upset, nothing gets solved.
Well, did he give you any reason why?
Yeah, he gave me a reason.
Well, come on, out with it.
You're not going to like it.
Carla, would you please stop playing games with me and tell me what the man said?
Okay. He says he doesn't want the Chronicle badgering the Bedford about patient deaths.
But I didn't want to talk to Ben about patient deaths.
It doesn't matter. He's adamant. And frankly, I don't think anything that you say or anyone else is going to change his mind, at least not for a while.
Wait a minute, this is different. Now, the information that I have, Ben needs this information. Now, it could exonerate the Bedford Institute, or at least exonerate Ben.
He doesn't need exonerating, and that's what he's going to tell you. Jean,
What?
listen, don't go over there. Not just yet. Trust me. Don't badger him right now. If you value their friendship, come on, do it for me.
Listen, Carla, now, I know how you feel. I think it's wonderful that you care the way you do, but you're going to have to trust me on this one, baby. Now, aside from Ben Martin and that temper of his, we have to remember he still is a friend, okay?
Then honor his request.
I can't do that. Don't you see that Ben could be in big trouble? I mean, if I'm a friend the way I'm supposed to be, it only makes sense that I would try and help the man out.
He's not going to see it that way.
Oh, gosh, maybe he won't. But, Carla, I mean, people are often nearsighted in situations like this, and this is when they need a friend the most. It may hurt a little bit at first, yeah, but I'm still going to have to talk to him. I'll see you when I get back.
Nancy, what do you mean you can't pitch in? You've got a very good job at Greenbrier. And I figure $55 or $60 should just about cover your rent, your food, and even your linens. And considering what the prices are today, I think that's a fair share.
Well, yeah, sure it is, but I just can't afford it.
Nancy, I don't think you can afford not to. Anywhere you go, a room alone would just cost you $60. And that's not even including boarding or any of the rest of those little extras.
I own, it's just not fair.
It's not fair. What do you mean, Nancy?
Well, I own you have a lot of people coming and staying here and staying a lot longer than I have, and you don't charge them anything.
I know, but...
Yeah, but you should treat me just the same as you treat everybody else. It's only fair.
Nancy, when you start talking about fair, you have to look at things from a few other angles. Now, you can't make that judgment from where you're standing. Now, I let some people come here because they don't have any place to go, or either they just can't afford to leave.
Well,
Nancy, you don't hardly fit into that category. The scripture says if a man doesn't work, he doesn't eat. You are working and you are eating. Now, I think you can understand that, can't you?
well, I can make you a loan.
I beg your pardon, would you run that by me again?
Well, I can give you a loan. If you are in a pinch, I can give you money for the short term, you know.
Well, what about all those 10s and 20s I've already lent you?
Oh.
Well, you know, I'm not even asking for those back, and it's not like I can't get by. But I think you're able to contribute, and I think it's important that you do.
I'm sorry, Ione.
It's that Domi.
What?
It's those Domi sessions. You need the money to pay for your fee for those training sessions.
Maybe.
Nancy, I think you ought to set yourself up some hard and fast priorities. Now, I know there are different things mean different things to different people.
I am not going to drop out of Domi. Is that clear? I'm not going to drop out of it. Now, if this is some kind of fancy strategy to get me to drop out, forget it. I'll just pack up and I'll move out. But I am not dropping out of Domi.
Now, Beverly, tell me again what you are going to do.
I'm going to see Dr. Ben Martin at the Bedford Institute. I'm going to tell him about my tensions, my anxieties, my insomnia. I'm going to ask him to give me some tranquilizers so that I can get some rest.
Your hay fever, Beverly. Don't forget about your hay fever.
The pain in my sinuses. I need something for that, too.
Excellent. And you are not to mention my name. Under no circumstances are you to mention my name. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Good. Now, there's one more thing, Beverly. It's about our joint money market account. It will not take you weeks to transfer all of your funds into that account. It will take days, 3 days. Do you understand? Beverly.
That will be very difficult.
But it will be done.
Yes.
Good. Now, when I count to 3, I want you to open your eyes. 1, 2, 3. Well, how are you feeling?
Fine.
Good. Do you have any questions?
No.
Fine. Until next time, then.
Yes.
Yes.
Nothing.
Vanessa, I have a question or two that I want to ask you.
Really?
Would you excuse me?
My, this is the day for questions, isn't it? Please, sit down.
Earlier, you said that you knew Ben would encourage his wife to take separate vacations. I want to know how you knew that.
We all have our secrets. Isn't that the way it's supposed to be?
That's not good enough, Vanessa. I want to get to the bottom of what's going on here. This isn't the first time that you've known something like that. Something you had no apparent way of knowing.
Coincidence?
No. It's a little bit more than coincidence, Vanessa. What are you up to, anyway? What kind of business are you really in?
Think about it, Brian. Who would have known that Laurie was going out of town? Perhaps even before Laurie herself knew it.
From what I hear, maybe I should have brought along a little white truth flag.
I have a better idea. Save us both a lot of aggravation and just drop the whole thing.
Yeah, that would mean surrendering.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, I'm sorry, Ben, I can't do that.
I didn't think you could. I assume you didn't come here to negotiate peace terms.
Oh, wait a minute. I never knew that we were at war.
Well, as far as I'm
Wait,
concerned...
no, the fact of the matter is that we aren't, Ben. Now, I have some things that I need to tell you that it's for your own good. I'm not here to throw stones or make any accusations or anything like that. Now, Carla told me that you're pretty upset. Now, I can understand that, and maybe justifiably so. But now there are a few things that I know that you need to know, Ben.
Sit down, Brian, please. So, when did Laurie leave?
This afternoon. Around 2.
And how did Ben seem to feel about that?
Fine, I guess. He said it was his idea originally.
How long will she be gone?
That I really don't know. I thought maybe you would. Consult your other sources, my dear. But it is kind of consoling to see that there's something you don't know.
I know what I need to know. Brian, darling, I just don't feel like I'm in the mood for a big dinner tonight.
But we'd planned.
I know, but I was hoping you'd be a dear and just take me to the diner across the street.
The diner?
Yes, just for a quick bite. There's someone I have to see, someplace I have to go. And the sooner the better.
Wednesday on Another Life.
I heard a few things about the defense you're planning in your upcoming annulment hearing.
And?
I need to know the truth. Everything.
And Tina confesses to John.
Just feels so bad. It hurts, John. It hurts so much.
What is it?
I'm in love.